Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show. Hey, whoa. Keep that music rolling. It's a Friday.
All right.
It's a meat party Friday.
We are having a meat party.
How are we feeling?
We're feeling great.
Brock.
Fantastic.
Shane Deef.
On top of the world.
In the Four Peaks mini bar. There's no other place I'd rather be right now with no other people.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. This is my best man, Bo Brock, here. And we're talking AFC North today. Another division preview.
North.
We have done, this is our sixth one.
Mm-hmm.
We have two more divisions, and that is both the West divisions, AFC West and NFC West.
Are those the two divisions we have identified as like the premier divisions?
The AFC West is the premier division,
Okay.
in my opinion, because it has Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
And the NFC West is just the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's just interesting to us.
Yeah, just interesting to us and nobody else. But yeah, some fun stuff to get to today. Fuck baseball. I'm done. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of betting on it. I still love watching it.
Yeah.
But I can't do it anymore, Bo.
Yeah.
I need football season to be here.
It's almost here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, preseason, like the newness of that wears off probably by like the middle of the first quarter of the first preseason
Yeah, it's
game.
the worst.
Yeah,
the
and then you're
preseason
like,
sucks.
can we get this over already?
We got college football week 0 next week, so that's very fun. I already bet on Jordan Travis to win the Heisman. I'm a Florida State Seminole.
You like the old deputy coach from Todd Graham's staff, Mike Norvell?
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I also...
The man had cornrows at one point.
Speaking of Florida State, I had an idea. So you know how they said they were going to try to like sell their soul to a credit union?
Yeah.
To become completely financially independent from a
We've
conference?
all done it.
Yeah. I mean, if you live in America, you've already done that. So you know how the chop is problematic?
Yeah.
So instead of doing the chop, I thought they could do the swipe.
Okay. So
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's good. I think that's, regardless of what it is, it's insufferable. I mean, no matter what they're doing, it by like the second quarter, like, all right, let's maybe move on. Let's do something else.
Yeah. Well, this isn't college football. We're talking about one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time today, though, Joe in the AFC North. The last 2 years I've been a Bengals hater. Plain and simple. I have been. People call their defense opportunistic. I call it lucky. Now they're without their two safeties. And I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. But I'm predicting better this year than I have predicted in the past. I don't know if they three-peat the division, though. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, Bo, just as a division, what do you think of it? Are you excited?
I think it's deep, right?
Yeah.
I like the three top teams in this division. I think that there's one team that could be very, very sneaky, depending on a problematic quarterback, and then one that has a really good defense that's going to be in games and make things interesting. But I'm not going to. I'm scared of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna fade them. I like T.J. Watt in that defense, but I don't like Kenny Pickett. Like I don't believe in him.
Yeah, he's got tiny hands.
He does. That's it. It's the hands thing.
Just got tiny hands.
Have you heard that before? He has toddler hands. I'm going to try not to touch my mic, but he couldn't even grip a Nerf football.
No.
But
he couldn't even grip that mic.
And he never, and I shouldn't, but he never had multiple touchdowns in any of his starts last season. And we're not talking about just like a few. I mean, he started a significant amount of games, and he never had multiple touchdown tosses.
Yeah, he's not going to be the best quarterback to come out of Pitt. That belongs to my cousin Ty, who's out there right now as a freshman.
Ty Deef.
Yeah, I'm just Mike Tomlin. Like, I'm too afraid to fade Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a bit. But let's just go ahead and break it down team by team. We'll start.
So, foreshadowing.
Okay.
I had a bit of a polarizing take then on the Steelers and Tomlin in the stretch that he's had so far. He's never had an under 500 season. I think it might happen.
Why?
Yeah, hell might freeze over this year.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Like I said, baby hands playing quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah.
But baby hands played quarterback last year.
He did, but I felt that division, especially with Lamar out as long as he was, it's been back-to-back seasons where Lamar's missed a bunch of times. You're gonna see as we make our bets and we look at this AFC North that I'm kind of a believer, especially from a betting kind of look at as far as the Ravens go.
Yeah, well, let's talk about them.
Okay.
They're my darlings. They have always been my darlings. I'm a Lamar Jackson stan. I think he has an underrated arm every single year. People they think his arm is weaker than it is, and his decision making is fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad like people think. But he just makes plays. And if you're a quarterback in the NFL, you just have to make plays. And it's plain and simple, that's what he does. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to make plays. And finally, this is the year where he has a receiving core. Not only a receiving core, but a offensive coordinator that was going to want to pass the football. Are you excited to watch this game?
Yeah, I mean, they're excited that Greg Roman's out of the fold, and they've got a new offensive play caller, and what it can do for Lamar Jackson might keep him safer as well. He's not going to take as many hits, but he still has that option of running the football. And outside of Justin Fields, I mean, they're 1-2 and kind of interchangeable, but I think Lamar is the king still.
Yeah.
I love what they're going to do. I mean, Zay Flowers, what they did in the draft. Say what you will about Odell Beckham Jr. and where he fits in as far as the receiver hierarchy. He's just a good wide receiver. And then, Rashard Bateman is somebody that could bounce back off a bad injury last year. Was it a foot? So, I think it's deep. And then, of course, what you get you get one of the best tight ends in the NFL. And a guy that knocked you off the basketball court way back when at Desert Mountain High School.
Their three wide receivers, they went from having three of the worst. They went from having one of the worst trios in the NFL to potentially one of the best, depending on injuries. Obviously, we have to wait to see what Rashad Bateman looks like coming back from an injury-riddled rookie year, and we have to see what Odell looks like after tearing his ACL on the worst turf imaginable, or just turf is just terrible in general. And obviously, Zay Flowers is unproven, but
LA has the worst turf.
Well, I just hate turf.
Okay.
I don't think they have the worst turf.
Right.
I think all turf sucks.
All right.
Plus, if you're walking around in it and you're not an athlete, you just get rubber in your shoes. It's so stupid. Just grow grass. Come on.
Yeah.
In theory, this receiving core should be elite. It should be.
But there's not a lot of margin for error. As I look at, you've got the depth chart up here. And
Nelson Aguilar, Devin Duvernay, and Laquan Treadwell are your
Laquan Treadwell is on a depth chart. And he's he's one player going down away from seeing time. That's bad. But I'm betting on the Ravens, and call me naive, if they're healthy, if all things are perfect, this is a team with a very high ceiling.
This is a team that could have an offense that competes with the Chiefs. If everything is if Odell Beckham Jr. is Odell Beckham Jr. and this offense is as dynamic as it should be, and injuries keep them off or keep them on the field,
this is a team I believe in.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins being healthy, probably not going to happen, but would be fun. Their offensive line, as long as Ronnie Staley's healthy, solid, but not great. Lamar's going to have to be Lamar, bottom line, and I think this team will be fine. Defensively, they lost some pieces, but Patrick Queen finally had a good year. Finally. I really like him. And obviously the addition of Roquan Smith.
Right.
That 1-2 linebacking duo could be one of the best in the NFL.
And we'll see how much time Humphrey misses, right? Isn't he dealing with an injury? Kyle Hamilton, I think they liked how he finished the season.
Kyle Hamilton finished really well. And losing Marcus Peters sucks. But as long as Marlon Humphrey can be healthy, I love the corners they have. Big fan of Rocky Sin. Big fan of that signing. And this should be a fun team to watch if they stay healthy.
In the mix, I think, to win the division, right? But you've got, I think, three teams that could legitimately, at the end of the year, I would be like, I can see it.
I think there's four. I don't believe.
Wow.
Just because I think they're going to beat up on each other divisionally, and I think a team that wins
cannibalize.
Yep, a team that wins 10 games could win the division, and I could see the Steelers doing that. But we'll get to them in a bit. Last question on the Ravens, Bo. Is this team a Super Bowl contender?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think that they could come out of the AFC.
I love it. I agree. All right, let's move on to the Browns.
All right.
The Brownies. What do you like about the Brownies? What do you hate about the
Watched them on display last night. I think they're it's like DTR hysteria right now, and I'm like, okay,
so
let's
awesome.
just calm ourselves. Cleveland fans.
Let's keep doing it. Back the pack.
You watched him play a lot of football. Yeah. Do you understand it? DTR mania?
Do I understand why people are obsessing over him?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Because he's one of the. He's just like he's a darling. He's like a scrambling quarterback that has really cool hair.
Yeah.
And isn't afraid of contact and has an okay ball. He's been a lot better at throwing the football than he's going to be. I will tell you that. But yeah, this is just it's what I saw out of him in for all of his 9 years at UCLA.
Let's not talk about him probably for the next at least calendar year. I think he goes away after the preseason is all said and done. So now we're looking at Deshaun Watson, first full season in what, 2 years?
In 3 years.
3 years.
Because he took 2021 No.
He was on the suspension on the commissioner's list.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and then he missed 11 games last year, and it really looked rusty in the preseason and at the end of last year. But
can I just make it another DTR?
Okay. No, I thought we ended. No, I said we won't talk about him.
If all four quarterbacks were allowed to play at the same time, is this the best 4-quarterback room of all in the NFL?
Kellen Mond sucks.
Wow.
Josh Dobbs is like, even though we gassed him up on PHNX Cardinals for some reason, he's pretty mid. I mean, mid is being nice for Joshua Dobbs.
Okay.
It's Deshaun Watson.
I'm done. Let's talk about some additions. Obviously, the big trade, Elijah Moore. Mm-hmm. I love it. I think he's a great number 2 receiver, and I think people continue
coming out of the backfield in some formations. They do similar things as far as concepts for offensively that the Cardinals do. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see a lot of tight end looks, and Bryant and of course Njoku are solid. Yeah. I think solid offensive line. I think that they're going to be one of those teams. Like if they can win a couple of those 1-score games, they're going to be in the thick of things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, forgot to mention this. They lose Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney now signs with
Baltimore.
The Baltimore Ravens. So that's a little tidbit. That's fun. I don't think he's going to do much, but it is fun.
He's good in the run game.
Yeah. I think this team has a really deep, not deep, but a good trio of receivers in Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and DPJ. I really like Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I think David Njoku can continue to surprise some people. Big body that just is kind of out there, but can make some plays.
If they can lean on Nick Chubb, though, if he can be that like 1996 Toyota Corolla or Tercel that you can just Corolla,
2007 Honda Accord that has 275,000 miles on it, which is what I'm driving today.
It's elite.
Yep, I'm driving a Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's like when you look at the mileage. That's like he's where Derrick Henry was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
and in different ways. Though, like he's not going to run you over,
right?
But he's one of the best. He has some of the best ball carrier vision I've ever seen.
Defensively, Myles Garrett, a guy who's in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, I think all the time. Somebody that could legitimately find himself with 20 sacks at the end of the year.
Yeah, and they add Dalvin Tomlinson, Zadarius Smith. Yeah, it's a fun team. And
forgot about Smith.
Yeah, Juan Thornhill, Super Bowl champion Juan Thornhill, as the safety. And if Grant Delpit can.
Yeah,
just play normal.
I loved him out of LSU.
He was really good his rookie year, and then last year he was like, you know what? I actually decided I'm not going to play football. I don't know how to play it anymore. I'm really bad at it. He was so. He woke up with bad.
Football amnesia.
He was so bad last year. If he can just be a fraction of what he should be, this defense, that safety room.
Denzel Ward is another guy that needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, they could be sneaky good. Yep. And I have them in like if I woke up at the end of the season and they're at the top of the division.
Why were you asleep?
I don't know. Do you want to know the details of how I went into a coma and I was asleep and you are there by my bedside and you're saying, hey, I've got some news.
After my wedding? After my wedding when you were my best man?
I've got some news.
Hey,
the Browns won the AFC North. I'm like, that
doesn't surprise me.
Where's my wife? Where's my son?
Can I call my wife?
What happened?
Why are you the person? Okay, let's move on. Let's stop with the
fanfic. The Browns won the North.
Stop with the Brown fan fiction. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tiny hands, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, fine. Good rebound last year. I think that this defense is conducive to him continuing to be kind of help him overcome where he is at this stage in his career. He's in a good system, and he with a ball hawk behind him and Minkah Fitzpatrick and the defensive front that they have, just guys that can just straight up get after the quarterback. T.J. Watt and I love it. I mean, I think he's good.
Every year I look at this depth chart. Every year since 2005, I've looked at the Steelers depth chart. I've hated every single weapon they have. Like I just don't like nothing.
Offensively,
Najee Harris is like, what happened, man?
Yeah.
Like you can't. You're fine. You're fine.
This is his final stand.
Deontay Johnson. He's ass. I'm sorry. He is not a good one receiver. Yeah. George Pickens is fun, but you're not that high on him.
No,
right?
I'm not. Like I don't. I mean, it all comes down to Pickett, and I just don't think Pickens is gonna.
Yeah, Pickens is probably my favorite player on this team, just because he's fun. But he's not.
He's gonna make crazy plays.
And then Allen Robinson is the worst player to ever play football. Yeah. They signed him. He's gonna be the third receiver. I kid.
But anything is Najee Harris's final stand. Like maybe mid-season you're like, okay, he's not getting carries any longer. They're giving him to
Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and that means he's just done.
Jet sweeps to Calvin Austin.
Right. And then like there's gonna be two teams after the Steelers are like, hey, maybe we can get Najee Harris to play well, and then he doesn't.
You know who they're gonna give carries to? Arizona State's own Xavier Valade.
Okay.
They signed him.
Cool.
We'll see if he makes the roster. Cool. We'll see if he makes the
He
roster.
already got cut.
This defense, I don't care who's on it, is going to be good. It just always is. We'll see if Joey Porter Jr. can figure it out. He's been getting mossed in camp. Like, he's been getting dominated.
By Pickens, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
he's pretty good at football.
But you don't like him.
Right, because of Pickett. Am I just a walking, talking out the side of both sides of my mouth?
They lose Devin Bush to the best team in football. Seattle Seahawks, of course. So that hurts a little bit, but other than that, I mean, not really a ton of crazy turnover. They signed a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But, like, none of them are really that fun. As I said, Allen Robinson is the worst player to ever play the game. So.
Let's get our stripes. Let's talk about the Bengals.
Let's talk about a real team. The Cincinnati Bengals, as I said, they lost their two safeties. There's two starting safeties, and they're not scrubs either. Von Bell, Jesse Bates, both gone.
Yeah.
Other than that, they lost Pirine, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. It's just
Mixon had his thing figured out.
Did he though?
He didn't?
I mean, it legally I think so, but like.
Well, the NFL still has the
if their offensive line can protect Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow is the favorite to win the MVP right now.
Yeah, I just think I see the Bengals, especially in the regular season, as a team that's just trying to hold itself above water and get to the dance.
Yeah,
they just want to get to the playoffs, and they know that they have the Burrow, Chase, the guys on the defensive side of the football. They've got big play guys that can get them all the way to the Super Bowl, like they did 2 years ago. But I think like regular season, I'm not that high on the Bengals just because they're a little top heavy and they're just trying to survive.
Yeah, and their defense is just too opportunistic, as everybody says. Best receiver duo in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Trio.
Yeah, probably trio. Definitely best duo. T. Higgins is a number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's going. I can't believe they didn't lose him. Wasn't he up for contract? Did they?
Tagged him.
Oh, they tagged him.
Didn't they tag him?
I think so. I think that's right. Not much to say about the offense. The offense is a buzzsaw, and they're going to be really good again. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are going to compete.
They get Orlando Brown Jr. from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, trying again to solidify the offensive line.
And my least favorite right guard in the NFL, Alex Kappa, is coming back after a really bad year again. Actually, he did figure it out at the end of the year. But probably the worst guard Tom Brady's ever had. I still remember watching. Oh, my God, it was the worst. Their defense is nothing really to write home about. Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are really good ends.
Right. They have like kind of an affinity for the big play.
Yeah, and Miles Murphy, who they drafted, who I don't.
It fits, though, doesn't it? He's kind of like.
For sure.
Yeah,
he's Sam Hubbard. Their interior defensive line is fine. I really like Chidobe Awuzie. I think he had a really good year before he got hurt last year. Cam Taylor-Britt is a young guy that's going to be fine. And then, their safeties that they replaced with them are two young dudes, Nick Scott and Dax Hill. Dax Hill, who showed some flashes last year, if he can do stuff, I think they'll be just fine. But yeah, it's the big play thing, both sides of the ball. Like they're going to give up shots and they're going to take shots. They're going to be must-watch football every single week because of the offense
and the coaching continuity, being able to keep those coordinators in place. I think that's a good move for them. I mean, Anarumo, he was a candidate here. What he was able to do, what he's been able to do as far as bottling up the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's always a weapon when you're a team that's going to be in the thick of things come January, February.
Yeah, too bad they have Zach Taylor, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
I got a little higher on him at the end of the year. All right, well, let's talk about the odds. Let's talk about the betting. This is why we're doing this. And we got them all courtesy of BetMGM. There are so many things. Like every single time we do one of these things, a new future or something emerges. You can bet on a team to win, to be a wild card team. You can take their exact win totals. Like right now, you can take the Cardinals to have exactly like 4 wins.
Yeah,
which is the favorite at plus 450. That's sad.
That's tough.
That makes sense though. But yeah, get those courtesy of BetMGM, guys. Sign up with that bonus code PHNX because when you do, we got some good stuff for you. Plus, it's Friday. Every single Friday when you log into the app, you get a free bet, courtesy of BetMGM. Guys, sign up with that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live before our Arizona audience. Place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses your go-to spot to bet on the NFL and maybe NFL preseason if you're Johnny Venerable. He made some good coin from his free bet he got at BetMGM. The homie threw the entire free bet he got at BetMGM on Cardinals money line in a preseason game. He is a psycho, and you can be a psycho too with BetMGM. Check out the show notes for full details, and now listen to me talk about the disclaimer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario. I just saw this again. It just really pissed me off, so I have to tell people. Anybody see the Anthony Richardson throw this morning? Everyone's like drooling over.
Yeah.
He just jumps and throws it straight up in the air. Like, not to a receiver, just a guy standing there. I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not as far, but I could do that. Why is he doing this?
Just likes fun. I mean, you just want him to, you don't want him to have fun on the football field.
I'm fine with him doing it. Sorry. I'm fine with him doing it, but why are people freaking out over it?
Because they think that it kind of the whole pre-draft process, like, oh my God, Anthony Richardson. They just want to feel comfortable that they were right, and we'll see. And I don't think that this does that at all. I mean, this is ridiculous.
You don't think that this shows that he's going to be a good quarterback? No, this was me in
the backyard. This is Uncle Rico just firing football. This is what your son sees when you throw. I showed this to my son though. This is what this. He was like, "Wow." He's 2 years old. He thinks that's fantastic.
Did he say, "Wow"?
Yeah, I was like,
did he say, "Look at the arm talent on that guy"?
I said, son, come on. What is this play? What are you doing?
All right, let's talk about it. Time to break down.
I was like, you don't know ball.
AFC North. But we both have the Ravens winning the division. We'll start with your forecast first. What do you like about them?
I like them, because, like I said, I don't like the Bengals as far as a regular season team. I think the Ravens have more upside to win the division. I like that they're plus 220. So you get a little value there. So I'll take the Ravens plus 220 with Lamar Jackson kind of on a revenge tour. He got the bag this offseason, and he's got some playmakers in his offense.
Man, doesn't that feel like years ago?
It does.
That debacle.
Yeah.
I can't at the start of the offseason, everyone thought he was gone.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then in a nightmare scenario where I go into a coma today and then awake in February or January, and you tell me the Browns or the Ravens are the 1-2 in the division, I'm cashing plus 900. I like the value there.
It was a nightmare?
Well, it would be a nightmare if I go into a coma for myself to miss that time.
Yeah, to miss the entire. Yeah, that would stink.
Johnny would be down kind of tremendous. Yeah, here's the new PHNX Cardinals cast.
You got to do bets now.
Go into your closet that smells like Axe body spray, which it does. Steelers, so it's never happened. Mike Tomlin's never finished under 500.
Never.
I've got him under 8.5 wins. If there's a tie in there, it might still be possible. But look, under 8.5 wins, it's just a gauntlet of division. They're going to cannibalize each other, and I just don't see the Steelers coming out all clean on the other side.
Yeah, I disagree. And we'll go ahead and look at my forecast right now because I have the Steelers over 8.5 wins because it's never happened. Never. Give me the Steelers over 8.5 wins at minus 150 at BetMGM. I just it's literally never happened. I'm not going to bet against trends. It's Mike Tomlin. I think they go 8-1. No, that would not make me win. Right. I think they go 9-8.
Okay.
Or maybe 9-7-1. I think they do tie.
That all cashes. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And then I'm going to take the Bengals over 10.5 wins, but I'm going to take the Ravens to win the division. I think this division is going to take 11 to 12 wins to win it. I think that this division is going to beat up on other divisions, that they're going to beat up on each other.
Bully.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win the division at plus 220 as well, but I do like the Bengals over their win total. This is a team that is still like a Super Bowl contender, 100%. And apparently they have the NFL MVP on their team.
This is like a division of just brutes. Like I like from top to bottom. They are gonna be the most physical division in the league, and that might be tough for non-division opponents facing them. All right, let's take a look at my props.
Yeah. I mean, you like somebody to win the MVP, don't you?
I do. Lamar Jackson plus 1,400.
Love it.
It's not like it hasn't happened before. Yep. I mean, this guy was the NFL MVP a couple seasons ago. He's able to say what you will about what his his I guess passing technique looks like, right? But his mechanics, he's productive.
He led the league in QBR that year.
Yeah, he was with 37 touchdowns. Obviously, he went over 1,000 on the ground. I mean, he's an absolute monster. He can put up the numbers necessary, and I think the Ravens come along with MVP. You have to win a lot of football games. It's a big stat for winning MVP. They can get to that, anywhere from 12 to 14 wins threshold.
And then John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. This one's just because he's plus 3,000.
Yeah,
right?
He's such a good coach.
He's a good coach, and this is a team that, come mid-season, people are starting to pay attention to, and it becomes kind of a hype train from hell. And they'll be talking about Lamar, and they'll be talking about Harbaugh.
Well, speaking of Harbaugh, how many games have they won consecutively in the preseason?
Is it still going? Is it 22, 23?
Oh, no, it's like 28 now.
Oh, okay.
It's something ridiculous. They play on Monday night, primetime, preseason football. You can get their odds at minus 125 to win that game. I'm going to take that. I thought they were going to be crazier. They're playing the Commies in Washington, if that even matters for a preseason game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and look at my props.
It's a battle of the Beltway right there.
Lamar Jackson passing touchdowns total is only 23.5. That is very low. As you said, he threw 37.
This is a health thing? Like how many games do you think they're skeptical?
And I think it's just trends in the past. But hey, newsflash, got a trend for you. New offensive coordinator, new receivers. Also, his passing yards were like, it's like 3,300 or something crazy, which I don't think he's ever done that. So I almost went under on that, but I'm gonna believe. So I'm taking the over on his passing touchdowns, not touching his yards. Touching this guy though, Nick Chubb, over 1,224.
It's a big number.
Rushing yards, 100%. But he's done it the last 2 years, and he increased from the year before. I think he ran for 1,500 this last year. I think Deshaun Watson's still gonna stink. So they're going to rely heavily on Nick Chubb in that ground game, but they're going to rely on this guy to score some touchdowns through the year. Amari Cooper, 6.5. He got 9 last year with a flurry of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
One quarterback, even though he's not going to be great, Deshaun Watson, I'm taking Amari Cooper's over. He's so underrated as a receiver still. 6.5 receiving touchdowns. Bo, you got 2 more props for us, don't you?
I do?
Yep.
Let's take a look at them. All right, look at that. I was prop crazy today. I'll continue with my Ravens love. We'll go from the bottom up here. Zay Flowers to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Looking at more Ravens value. Quoth the Raven, plus 2,000. Let's go. He's been the most impressive rookie wide receiver. I don't think it's anywhere close. Like as far as all the hype coming out of camp, Zay Flowers is getting the most of it. And I'm seeing firsthand, Michael Wilson on display for the Cardinals. Zay Flowers, I think, is even, more impressive than that. And then TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, plus 750. I think that's a good amount of value for that guy. Myles Garrett has better odds to win Defensive Player of the Year, where I think Watt actually, when it comes all said and done, if he stays healthy, like they'll give him the edge over Myles Garrett.
That's the if though. I don't know. That's risky. I would lean Myles Garrett just because he's never won it, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and that's surprising to me. But yeah, if he stays healthy, I think he gets.
How many
there.
times did we say that this episode?
A lot. The AFC North is riddled with injuries, dating back to circa 2020. Joe Burrow injury, probably dating back
his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
20.
There's a lot of injuries. I think it's dating back into the start of football.
Yeah.
I wish they still wore leather helmets. Just kidding. Anything else?
That's it, man.
Good.
We got 2 more of these.
2 more of these. AFC West next week, NFC West the following week. And then we got football season. Super excited to bring you some bets every single Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. You can follow Bo on Twitter at Bo Brock. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a safe and fun weekend. Bet on the UFC fights. Sugar Sean O'Malley. I don't know what those odds are, but you can get them courtesy of BetMGM. But as I said, we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace, love, and if they stay healthy.